You know that feeling when you wake up already tired, already behind, already stressed? Yeah, that used to be me. For the last few years, I was waking up exhausted every single morning. And the worst part, I was getting enough sleep 7, sometimes 8 hours. But I'd still wake up, grab my phone before my eyes had even fully adjusted to the light, scroll for 10 minutes, feel anxious about everyone else's life, and then sit down to work already feeling behind, already feeling like the day has started without me. And I genuinely thought that was just life, the life of an adult. But then I ran a small experiment. 7 days, 4 tiny changes, and what happened wasn't dramatic, it was almost embarrassingly simple. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did, why the science behind it actually backs it up, and why most of us are accidentally sabotaging our own morning before we even get out of bed. Now, before we get into it, I didn't suddenly become a 5 a.m. person. I didn't wake up meditating in soft light, working out like a pro. Studies show 15 to 20% of people are natural night owls. So if you've tried the 5 a.m. club and crashed, that's not a character flaw. That's just your biology and years of following a late routine. Fixing your morning has nothing to do with waking up at 4 a.m. It has everything to do with what you do in the first 60 minutes after you open your eyes. Because chances are you don't need a perfect morning routine. You just need a better one. Scientists call the first hour after waking the cortisol awakening response. Your cortisol, your body's alertness hormone, spikes up to 50% in the first 30 minutes. Your body is literally saying, okay, let's go. That spike is a good thing. It sharpens your focus, primes your brain, gets you ready and going for the day. But whatever you expose yourself to during that spike, that determines how the rest of your day feels. If the first thing your brain gets is a flood of notification, board news, and other people's opinions, your brain reads that as stress and it spends the rest of the day recovering from that spiked stress. So, how do we change this? Change 1. No phone for the first hour. A 2021 study from the University of British Columbia found that people who checked their phones less frequently reported significantly lower stress all day. Now imagine starting your day by voluntarily injecting stress directly into your sharpest mental window. That's what most of us are doing every single morning, like an addiction that never stops. So the first change and the hardest one was no phone for the first hour. The first morning I tried, it lasted just 11 minutes. I picked it up to check the time, and 40 minutes later, I was watching a video about why pigeons can recognize human faces. That's not a weakness. Your phone is engineered by the smartest designers and psychologists in the world to be impossible to put down. You are fighting a billion-dollar machine with your half-asleep brain. So what actually worked? I used an alarm clock to wake up instead. I let my phone die overnight. And if there was some charge, kept it in another room or maybe a drawer on silent. Out of sight, out of mind. By day 3, my first thought wasn't anxiety about what I'd missed. It was just quiet, my own thoughts in a slow pace. I sat with my peppermint tea, looked out at the vast sky and felt for the first time in years like the morning actually belonged to me. The average person spends over 2 hours on their phone before noon. 2 hours of your sharpest brain time handed to an algorithm that sucks the energy out of you. So the first change is simply take it back. And it costs you nothing. Change 2. Same wake time every day. This might sound boring. I thought so too until I understood why it works. Your body runs on a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour biological clock that controls not only just sleep, but your mood, your metabolism, your immune system, focus, and emotional resilience. And the number one way to keep it accurate? Consistency. Same wake time every day, including weekends. Not earlier, just consistent. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman calls morning sunlight the single most powerful signal you can give to your circadian system. Light hitting your eyes in the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking literally sets your body's clock for the next 24 hours. But if you wake at 7 a.m. on the weekdays and then 10 a.m. on the weekends, you're giving yourself a social jet lag. Your body gets confused and you end up breaking the pattern. So I started waking at 5 a.m. every day. By day 4, I was waking up just before my alarm. Naturally, because my body was anticipating it. That feeling, waking without being jolted awake, that's your circadian rhythm working the way it's supposed to. Once you feel that, you won't want to give it up. Change 3. 3 habits every morning. And I'll be careful here. When people say healthy morning routines or habits, they mean cold plunge, 20 minutes meditation, journaling, yoga, smoothie, 10 pages of a book, and affirmations in the mirror. For some of us, that's just overwhelming. I picked 3 small non negotiable habits. Same order every morning. First one, a full glass of warm water immediately after waking. After 7 to 8 hours without fluids, your body is mildly dehydrated. Even 1 to 2% dehydration impairs cognitive performance and moods. 1 glass of water, the highest ROI health habit that exists. The second, 5 minutes outside. Just standing in natural light, in fresh air. No phone, no headphones, just light and air. On the days I skipped it, I honestly felt the difference. The third one, 10 minutes of movement, stretching, a short walk, anything. Research in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found even 10 minutes of light morning exercise significantly improves attention, memory, and mood for the entire rest of the day. Water, light, and movement. 20 minutes total. Small enough to do on your worst morning too. And I'd genuinely love to know, what does your current morning look like? Grab the phone kind of person? Or do you already have something that works for you? Drop it in the comments so that we can learn and we actually read your comments. So here's why these 3 things work just beyond the physical. When you complete 3 promises to yourself before 8 am, even tiny ones, your brain gets a hit of accomplishment. Psychologists call it small wins theory. You've already won before the day has even started, and that feeling comes forward into everything throughout the day. Change 4. The one nobody talks about. Here's the one I almost didn't include because it sounds so obvious. I was trying to fix my mornings while completely ignoring what was happening the night before. Your morning doesn't start when your alarm goes off. It starts the night before. I started sleeping earlier and building a small night routine. People with a consistent bedtime woke up feeling more restored. Not because they sleep longer, but because their body knew when the sleep was coming and prepared for it. My night routine includes no screen for 1 hour before bedtime, fixed sleep time, and just relaxing with low lighting. Maybe a little relaxing music and lighting a nice scented candle. And my husband got this beautiful Galaxy projector, which is honestly my favorite and makes me drift to sleep right under the sky. It's just so therapeutic. The link to it is in the description below. Okay, so coming back to the topic. This one change made the other 3 almost effortless. When you sleep well, everything upstream gets easier. Waking consistently becomes natural. Skipping your phone becomes easier. Movement doesn't feel like punishment. So after 7 days of these 4 changes, here's what actually happened with me. I had more energy. Not the kind of energy that comes from the 3rd cup of coffee. The kind that's just baseline. Like the volume on life has been turned up slightly. I was also less stressed. And I think the reason for that is that I was no longer starting my day in the reaction mode, reacting to notifications, to messages, to other people's urgency. I was starting it on my own terms. And my focus in the mornings, which is where I do my most important work, was noticeably sharper. Not every day, but on most of the days. But the thing that surprised me the most, it wasn't any of those measurable results. It was a feeling that my morning was mine again. Just me with the birds, the sun, and my yoga mat. That there was a version of the day that existed before the world got its hands on it. And I got to live it for around 2 hours of the day. That sounds small, but I think for a lot of people who feel like life is just constantly happening to them, like they're always playing catch up, always behind, always reacting, that feeling of owning your morning might be just the most important part of the day. Now, I wake up at 5, get on my meditation mat by 5:30, then do some form of mastery, that is learning, and then head on to moving my body, thus accomplishing the 3 M's of the morning hours suggested by a dear friend, Subha. If you want to try this, start with one change. If I had to pick up one change for you, it would be the phone. Put it in another room tonight. Just see what tomorrow morning feels like. A like on this video helps this reach people who might need it. Subscribe if you want more of this practical, honest, science-backed stuff about building a life that actually feels good. Out of everything that we talked about today, the night routine is a place that's kind of difficult to follow. And honestly, it deserves its own entire conversation. Most of us are unknowingly doing things every single evening that are silently wrecking our sleep, our mood, and our next morning. And we have no idea that we are doing them. So the next video is a complete breakdown of how actually to fix it, what to stop doing, what to replace it with, a wind down sequence backed by sleep science, not just wellness trends. So if you've ever laid in your bed with your brain refusing to switch off, that video is made for you. You can watch it here. See you the next time. Till then, take care.